Hi, this is Benjamin from Ekabhava Tennis. Today we're looking at Roger Federer's profile. So on the tennis specific side, Roger has a very good technique. I wouldn't say it's outstanding or it's like the thing that characterizes him as a player, but obviously has a very good technique. His footwork at the beginning of his career was average, and he has improved it over time a lot, I would say. He's taking bigger steps. He has found a more effective way of approaching the ball. He's faster now as well, and I think many players can learn from his technique if they really look what he's doing, and it's definitely outstanding. His control is, I would say, very good. Nothing special that characterizes him. His touch is very good, very special, very outstanding, I would say. I think like no other, like uses a lot of backspin on the slice. He can do topspin, slice, drive, everything, and he has an amazing touch. The way professional tennis players define it. Also, the same for his stroke variety, one of the best on the tour. He plays his short slice balls. He plays down the line, cross court with forehand and backhand. He has a great volley game and so on and so on. His serve is amazing. So even on his serve alone, he has more variety than most other players. Then he's also very, very good at reading his opponents. That helps him actually to be faster. He's not the fastest, so on the speed side, we'll see in a second. He doesn't have the highest speed, but at the same time, he reads his opponents, and then that helps him to be fast on the court. On the tactic side as well, it's a very outstanding strength of Roger, and he knows how to play against different opponents. He changes his game accordingly, but still plays his game most of the time. So it's very good at that as well. So on a physical fitness overall, I would say he is very good, not outstanding. I would say not as good as Djokovic or Nadal or other good athletes on the tour, but it doesn't hinder him. He's very good. So his coordination is, I would say, very good. He yeah, it's just amazing, and that also helps him like to play the way he plays with his smooth tennis. On the speed side, I said he's not the best, but he compensates it with other strengths that he had. That he is, for example, very good in reading his opponents. On the endurance side, he is good, but nothing special. But it doesn't hinder him, so it's good enough to play a 2-week of Grand Slam tournament. Muscle power, I would say average, nothing special, but doesn't hinder him. On the flexibility side as well, same thing. Nutrition, same. And regeneration, I would say, is not one of the top guys, but I think he has found a way to, play every second day for 2 weeks a great match. So that's very good. On the body side, his body language is very good. I would say that hardly anyone can tell what's the score in Roger's game unless they know the score, because whether it's 1-4 or 4-1, his body language is the same. So this has been conditioned, which helps him to focus on the point right now that's going on the essence of what's going on right now, and that's great. It almost looks like a robot in a way, but it definitely helps him, and he still has the natural movements in there. On the emotional side, he has improved a lot. At the beginning of his career, he was quite angry a few times, smashed a few rackets here and there, but also at some point in the early 2000s, he just improved a lot, and since then there was only a few outbursts, but yeah, he's very strong emotion. The only thing is, in matches like usually finals of Grand Slam in the last few years, he has showed some emotion, so at some winner ceremonies, but also in games during Rafa, in a few, like while Rafa was very big and he won many Grand Slam tournaments, and also against Djokovic and other players, it seems like that he has some emotional blockages in the last few years when it comes to big titles like the Grand Slams. And yeah, I'm a bit surprised that he hasn't really worked on them so much, because it looks like it hasn't improved a lot. On the body memory side, same thing. He has one of the best, smoothest movements on the tour. His body memorizes, of course, all he has done in the past since his career, but at the same time, what I was just mentioning on the emotional side, his body also memorizes those blockages that he has, where it seems like he's not moving freshly. Like, I have seen him in many Grand Slam tournaments where he played amazing tennis until semi-final, final. Then he plays a big guy in the finals recently, and his body memory tells him, "Oh, you cannot move so smoothly anymore. There's something not going so smoothly." So I said, I mean, most of his career it was fine, but at some point, when I think it was when Nadal beat him in the Wimbledon final for the first time, it started to happen, this emotional blockage, which is also in the body memory. Then agility, it's actually related to that as well. He has an amazing agility. He moves like a young boy. If I look at videos of when he was 20, 21, and now in most of the tournaments, he moves as fresh or even fresher. But again, when it comes to some tight moments, he, especially not like during a match, but you know, in a semi-final or final of a big tournament, then this agility is also missing. Perception also, he's one of the best players. That's also what enables him the smooth game of his attention level is amazing, and that allows him also to relax while he plays tennis. Health-wise, amazing, one of the best, outstanding. I don't know, he hasn't been injured a lot at all, and that's also why he's still playing tennis on this high level. Energy body also definitely outstanding, one of the best. This means, for those who are not clear on that, it basically means that you foresee what's going on in the game and that you can move your body accordingly. And he's definitely one of the best. He has the smoothest technique, not just the technique, but the way he moves on the court, the way he hits the ball. It's one of the smoothest out there, and that's definitely this energy body. On the mind level, so thoughts, same thing as said before. He's one of the best ones when it comes to the mind level. His thoughts, he knows how to control them. They don't disturb him during a match, but he has those tight moments, and I would say he's quite a sensible guy inside. That's why it also has helped him a lot to have this robot, more mechanic, conditioned body outside to the people that it looks like, at least the body language. But on a thought level, he has also improved a lot, and except for in those moments when he has those blockages where very strong emotions can come in, like in the winner ceremonies a few times where he started to cry, and also in those matches when he has those matches, because the thought, which we come actually to the next point you will see, is linked to the big titles where he puts a lot of emphasis on. So on the belief system, that's exactly related to the emotional blockages that we saw. And it's basically exactly that. So my assumption is that he puts a lot of weight on winning big titles, and he still wants to definitely win a Grand Slam while he's playing, and maybe even the Olympics. And he puts a lot of pressure on himself, and that comes usually out in those moments of semifinals and finals of Grand Slam tournaments. Also, there's this maybe even subconscious or unconscious belief system that says, am I still good enough? Am I still able to beat the big guys like Djokovic and maybe Murray in the big finals of a Grand Slam? So that's definitely plays a role, and that's directly linked to his emotions and his blockages that we talked about. So the image of self and Walt, I mean, definitely he's one of the big guys out there, and he knows that. And he has done a lot for tennis. He knows that as well. And he has this image that he has built up also for the advertising world. And this image helps him definitely to play that level that he's still playing, but at the same time, it hinders him to still go all the way in some of the Grand Slam tournaments, because he puts a lot of emphasis on winning more titles and more titles to be the number one, and that actually holds him back of going all the way and having these relaxed moments that he needs during those games where he feels quite tense on a semi-final or final day. Visualization, very good, one of the best ones. He knows this technique and knows how to deal with it, and he's definitely one of the best ones. Blockages we talked enough about, so definitely a big one. I would say even this is one of the biggest areas which still hinders him of going all the way in Grand Slam tournaments. And as I said, there's definitely ways how to improve that, but yeah, maybe he hasn't found the way yet. Motivation, no need to talk about Roger's motivation. He's still highly motivated to win the big titles. Cause symptom here, as said, my assumption is that he has worked on these blockages that he has in those big moments in the Grand Slam tournaments, but it feels like he has only worked on the symptoms and not the cause. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have, I don't know, last year or the year before, gotten some Grand Slam titles as well. On the consciousness side, inner peace, definitely one of the highest ones. That allows him actually, inner peace allows players to actually perform and still play in a very relaxed way. I have not seen anyone other than Roger who plays so relaxed, especially also in practices and at tournaments, that allows him actually to have this touch, to have the stroke variety, and to stay calm in the important moments most of the times if there's no blockage. All his energy, same thing for Roger, that's linked to the energy body. And it has to do also with letting go, which we'll talk in a bit, which is about always going further, always improving further, and seeing not a physical limit necessarily, but always going on and becoming more aware of subtle things that are going on in his body and in his game, and he's always found a way to improve that. So definitely great. Joy, playfulness as well. He's one of the biggest there as well, especially when you watch him in practice. He is out there and he's super playful. Then the intuition and now factor, also very, very good. He always finds a way to be fully there when the ball is in the game. He not only thinks about where he hits the ball, but he is aware of the tactic, of his condition, of the opponent's condition, and he has an amazing intuition also when it comes to the net play and so on. Inner drive, also we don't have to talk much about that. He is still very driven from the inside to win titles, but at the same time, I would say the outer drive is also very strong, which hinders him in the blockage of winning. The letting go part, it's very strong. Also, he's now approaching the end of his career, and that helps definitely to let go in general, but still, he's still holding on very tightly on those Grand Slams, which actually hinders him to get all the way, at least in the last 2 years. And yeah, if he finds a way in 2016 to let go of those blockages, then he definitely is able to go for it. And then flow, yeah, I think it's exactly a summary of what I just said. He definitely has it. I think he's in the flow most of the times when he plays, except for those moments where he has those blockages. So that's it for Roger Federer. Thank you for listening and take care. Bye.